Well, you've been watching The Crown Prince, and you should have seen Putin there. Both of them aren't exactly, as I like to call these events, the popular kids in high school. They're more like the easy targets for the high school kids. Because this is what all these G20s remind me of high school. But they're not moving around as much. You see the Argentina president who's sitting squarely in the middle. He's looking at everyone, greeting everyone. He's looking around, actively searching. Whereas Putin and the Crown Prince are just standing there. And if someone makes eye contact, then they sit there and they'll give appropriate body language. It really does say something about these G20s, by the way. If anybody hasn't noticed who just came through the frame, the Bank of England governor, that these world leaders at the G20 include bankers. Should tell you something right there. Go back. Do we see anything? Trump. He looks at the Crown Prince. I don't know if he worded him out to him because his back is towards us, but he doesn't shake hands. I will say, from seeing Trump's body language and later things, which I'll point out, he does have underlying stress that he brought with him. So the boisterous Trump is not there. And we saw Macron put his arm around Trump and Trump passively ignoring it, looking down, buttoning his shirt, not giving him an inclination that, oh yeah, you're talking to me. I don't know how she's still out of jail. Where you see Abe's talking to him. Trump's giving his head direction towards Abe. You also notice that he finally gives Macron attention, but doesn't touch him. And Macron keeps trying to touch, which touching between humans is a reaffirming closeness, reaffirming submission, domination. It's a bonding tool. And Trump's not giving it to him.
Finalizada la toma fotográfica oficial del señor presidente de la Nación Argentina, Mauricio Macri, con los representantes de los países invitados y organismos internacionales.
You know, it actually looks like with Trump in here, he's pretty much trying to ignore everyone. He doesn't want his allies or his enemies out. You know, some things you just can't. The Macron thing you can't really hide. The fact that he's not really talking to May, you really can't hide. Abe has been his friend prior to even being president. That mentally is safe. I guess theoretically, we can say that goes with what's going on in the US and Mueller. Yeah, we're the outcast. Nobody likes us. And just for the record, for this poor crown prince, if you actually think Saudi Arabia is a stable country at this point, you are sadly mistaken. They've advanced the military in fear of a coup happening while he's in Argentina. There's been a quiet coup going on ever since he took power. It's kind of like the USA. Oh, the FBI is on our side. Some of it, maybe. Then they start raiding houses. That tattletaled on their deep state and their illegal activities. The same thing Saudi's going through. Yeah, this is a stressed Trump, standing there like he normally does, with that active look of looking at people. Now he stood there and he's looking around as if he is Putin or the prince that we saw earlier. He is stressed. He's the kind of alpha male that actively looks for interaction. He doesn't idly stand by. So now that we see him idly standing by, those are warning signs of underlying stress. Fiddle with my papers. Saw somebody. They gave me good. I'm going to go talk to him. Underlying stress. It does not mean he's stopped being himself. He's also standoffish. This is not the crown prince. It's somebody else representing him. He's too small. You saw Trump go back. He's had a lean back moment. See how that neck is kind of back and his shoulders are back away? Stress in the face. He's uncomfortable about this whole conversation. He's not giving good eye contact.
Hello, evil banker. Hello, evil leader. What are you doing today? We're trying to convince the UK they will die and burn if they leave. I'm burning ends tomorrow.
Putin's uncomfortable. He'll find something to do. Write on pieces of paper.
This one gets 0 presents. This one gets 1 present.
The French president had a brief exchange at one point.
All right, so that you know, the Saudi prince has a tic. The whole family's got it. He is not an exception. Macron has got his hands up in front of him. It's more of an aggressive move, and he's looking him directly in the eye, and his eyes are open, whereas you see the crown prince at this point. His eyes are closed. Even though he's taller, he's being submissive, and he's leaned back, whereas Macron is leaned forward, invading his space.
Complaining in English that the Crown Prince...
And he keeps bowing his head. It looks like it's positive, but it's a bow.
Yes, it's going down way farther than it should. Yes, I listen to you. Yes.
And Macron keeps getting closer and closer and closer, like the creepy little sociopath he is.
Doesn't listen to him. I will listen, of course, he replies.
And he's smiling about it. He really is a creepy little man. And the crown prince is giving a very nervous laugh. He's the personality that sits there, and if he doesn't know what to do, he doesn't have an escape, but he's being submissive. The smile comes out really big. Every muscle in his face is stressed. And that's probably why we don't see that tic, because every muscle is stressed. And then a nervous laughter.
His team says he raised...
But he doesn't touch. That's the one thing we're not seeing. We're not seeing the reassuring touch. He's being scolded, he's submitting, and nobody is reassuring touch. This kind of reminds me of what happened to Gaddafi. And I think it was Tony Blair was his friend. And Tony Blair tried to warn him not to do it, that they're going to kill you if you proceed down this path, because they were friends. And Gaddafi pretty much said, I don't care. I'm not being part of this. And guess what? Gaddafi's dead.